Turn that off for me. Off this treadmill.
Oh, I'm gonna put it back in the right color.
No, I appreciate it.
Slot.
I appreciate it, man. Mic check, mic check. What up, y'all? Doing this live stream Q&A. Any fitness, nutrition questions, any boxing, capoeira questions, feel free to ask away. My personal history as far as fitness and boxing and capoeira, suggestions, all of that. Feel free to ask. Yo. Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Let me know if my mic's good too. If my mic's not good, I'll switch them out really quick. Any questions about any fights too? You can talk fights, fitness, nutrition, capoeira, boxing, all of it. Let you all ask whatever it is you want to ask. Do. Said the mic's good. Cool. Just see if anybody else is going to join in. If you got any questions, go ahead and shoot them. You don't just hang in there. I'm answering any and all questions while I'm looking for this stream for the Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach fight. No disrespect, but I don't think that fight was worth $75. Mayweather's fights weren't even $75, so I didn't watch it as far as the live stream goes. So I'll give my 2 cents on that once it gets posted on YouTube. That fight wasn't worth no $75 in my opinion. I don't even think that better be a fight. There better be Evan Bivol fight. What's happening, people? What's going on? Live streaming, fitness, nutrition, boxing, capoeira, ask anything. Nutrition advice, all of that. Before I guess before you all ask y'all questions, I guess I'll go ahead and just give a front load on some issues that I run into when it comes to coaching people and people losing fat and all of that. A lot of people get on diets and regimens, and I don't really like to say diets, but regimens that they're not going to be able to maintain, if that makes sense. Like they get on these quick fad diets, these quick detoxes and things of that nature, things that are just going to make them pretty much go use the restroom and, you know, make a movement. And what goes on with that is they're just losing the waist weight as far as the waste that is in their intestines. And that's not losing fat. Like people really need to start dialing down on losing fat. It's a difference between losing weight and losing fat. If your water retention that's on your muscles right now goes away from you waking up in the morning and using the restroom, that's going to make you lose weight. That's not going to make you lose fat. The overall goal should be to lose fat. And that process right there takes a bit longer, and it takes a lot more detail and a more structured approach as far as your nutrition goes. I try to hint towards this a lot on my page with, little videos and little clips and content or whatever. Like, even though I'm being slightly sarcastic in the content, I still am dropping factual knowledge in there. And the thing about me personally is I pride myself on being a trainer and a coach that not only says what I can do, because a lot of trainers, let me keep it, no, a lot of trainers are do as I say trainers, not do as I do trainers. Me, I pride myself in being a trainer who can tell you what you need to do while showing you it works at the same time and being a living example. So I'm not going to tell you to do something that I can't be a living example of. So when I'm telling you something, I will show you during the process, not just theorize that this is what you should do because I read it in a book. Not only did I read it in a book, I also made sure that I put it into practice for you guys. So that's that as far as the nutritional spill. A lot of people eat too small, too little. And what they're actually doing is, what they're actually doing is letting their body liquefy their muscle tissue, which is what it does to get the nutrients that you didn't provide for itself. So your body's going to feed on itself, or it's going to feed on the nutrients that you give it. So yeah, under eating is also a huge issue when it comes to the nutrition space, the fitness and nutrition space. And then people wonder why they're not losing weight, or they're gaining weight, or they're gaining fat, or they lose weight, but then they look like really droopy. They don't look defined and stuff, the look that they're actually looking to obtain. This stuff takes a while, and it's a forever adjusting process too. So right now I'm at about 2K, 2,000 calories or whatnot. In about 2 weeks, my body is going to change. So I might need to go to 21, or I might need to go to 22, 23, whatever the case may be. So it's a forever adjusting process. It's never just a one size fits all approach. So I'm just giving y'all some baseline real quick, seeing if y'all got any questions yourself. All right, check. I go work.
I appreciate you.
Yep. Hey, turn that open the line off for me, please. Appreciate it. Yo. Okay, so also, no two people can eat the same. All right, have a good one, champ. No two people can eat the exact same, because two people are gonna have two different requirements. So what happens for a lot of people is you turn on this social media like you've turned on right now, and you go to looking at what somebody else is eating, and you try to get their portion sizes. And from there, you're eating something that's out of what your regimen should be, because these people have probably got their muscle tissue measured. They've probably got their body fat measured. So they know how much food they need for their required muscle tissue maintenance or growth. You try to go and obtain the same thing that they're obtaining by eating the same thing that they're eating, when you probably have less muscle tissue. So you're doing an adverse effect, and an adverse service to yourself. Every nutrition plan has to be individual. Sharing ideas is cool. Sharing portion sizes is not smart. Not smart at all. Yeah. Y'all got any questions? Don't hesitate to shoot them out. Let me know what you need. Let me know what you want to know about. Boxing wise, capoeira wise, nutrition wise, fat loss wise. Fat loss seems to always be the main topic, especially in this business. A lot of y'all don't lift enough weights to lose fat either. Y'all want to get in there and play with the light weights because you're afraid that you're going to bulk up, which is insane to me. I'm 45. I've been lifting weights since what, 1920. So, with that much time being involved in this, I'm not going to bulk up to a certain extent without the steroid help. You know, I would never use it. I'm not, you know, not involved in any PEDs or anything like that. But you will not bulk up. Stop being afraid to lift the heavy weights. And that goes for men and women. You've got to get stronger anyway. You should get stronger, and it helps your what is that? Eat bread ends. What? Oh, that was a YouTube example. But anyway, yeah. But I forgot what it was. That was a goofy question. Something popped up at the bottom where I guess I could make a sticker or something and, you know, I pin a question or whatever. But it was a goofy one that YouTube put up and said something about eat bread ends. Really weird. But yeah, you've got to lift weights in order to lose fat. You know, the people who are the worst when it comes to this experience are people who try to hurry up and lose fat and lose weight to go on a trip or something like that. You know, they try to get serious like 2-3 weeks before a trip or even 2 months before a trip or whatever. And your body is nowhere near adapted to a workout regimen. So what happens is they get in there and they burn out. And it's not logical to sustain. Like, I don't understand at this point in time why people just don't generally and genuinely just stick to a solid workout regimen for the rest of your life. This is a life sentence. Working out is a life sentence because there is no point where you're just, oh, I worked out, I got in this shape or whatever, and I'm done. No, there is either decay or there's growth. You will never stay in the same place for long at all. You're always going to grow or you're going to go down. And after you get to a certain point, it's up or it's down. And for a lot of people, it's down because we live in a supremely lazy society, an extremely lazy society. And yeah, I don't know, like a lot of people, in my opinion, are like doomed. You know, 5 years ago, we had the COVID pandemic. And with the COVID pandemic, it had got stated by the CDC or whomever, you know, the FDA, that obesity was the number one killer with COVID deaths. The number one killer was obesity. So with that being said, you know how many people changed themselves? A rare few. There were still people like, I don't know, not even the threat of looming death. And I posted this earlier, not even the threat of looming death is, you know, motivational enough for people. So you have to let some people just literally be doomed, unfortunately. And it's sad because my job is to help change people's lives. But I can't help change people's lives if people aren't willing to change their minds. And what I mean by that is people change their mindsets about who they are right now and who they need to become. Because who you are right now is in the way of who you need to become. So this is more mental than it is physical. This whole weight loss, fitness, I don't care what you think about it or what you approach or whatever approach you take. This entire thing is mental, far more mental than physical. Because you have to let go of everything that you think you are and everything that you are right now in order to become what you're going to be. People are stuck mentally. And when you're mentally stuck and mentally stagnant, there's nothing that you're going to do to change. So if you don't change, nothing will change. The first thing that has to change is you, your outlook on life, and what you're doing this for. You know? As far as boxing and capoeira goes, I hesitated for a really long time to throw the two together. Partially out of judgment that shouldn't have mattered, judgment that didn't exist because the people who I actually thought I would be judged by was actually, you know, all down for it, which goes into just follow, you know, your own pattern and your own path. But As far as boxing and capoeira, I hesitated to throw it together. I should have never hesitated to throw it together, but I'm glad that I'm getting the response and the feedback that I'm getting from everybody. And I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. People from all the way from my mestre to my former teacher, everybody's enjoying, what I'm doing and how I'm making the martial art my own. So I've been involved in boxing since 2003, 2004, and capoeira for 10 years. So, yeah, I believe that I'm to a point where I can start, putting them together and coming up with a nice hybrid situation. I haven't seen a lot of people do it. I haven't seen anybody do it, honestly. So I'm glad to be one of the first that I know to do it. So, yeah. Yeah, man. This is Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight. What y'all think about that? It's crazy, man. Anthony Joshua was trying to get one more check before he retires. The big check. Crazy, man. Crazy. I never would have thought I'd see the day where fighters or people can come into boxing and just cut in line like that. But money ruins the integrity of everything. So obviously you can buy spots or buy slots. Jake Paul is showing, like I said before, showing the power of branding. He already had a brand. He had millions of followers and subscribers and people who would spend money with him. So he just used his fame and his brand to cut the line of more deserving fighters, in my opinion, way more deserving fighters, people who actually walked the line, and went through the correct channels or whatnot, and it's no hate. He just found a loophole. I'm more so a purist as far as that goes, but he found a loophole. I can't hate. I can't hate on it at all. So I actually hope that other boxers coming up are watching the landscape change, because everything is constantly changing, and that's something we have to learn to accept more, is that everything is constantly changing. So the business model of boxing back in the 70s is not the business model of boxing in the 80s, and it wasn't in the 90s and 2000s, 2010s, and now the 2020s. So the business model is changing as to where you can promote and brand yourself. Fighters need to brand themselves. People in general need to brand themselves, but fighters need to brand themselves because they are seeing from the effects of individuals like Jake Paul that, if they have a bigger brand, a bigger following, and people who will, support them and buy their tickets, and if they're monetizable, you might get a better shot at some of these fights than, the average person coming up who doesn't do that. It's just the lay of the landscape. So, yeah, man. 2026 coming up. Got a lot of good plans coming up for 2026. Starting to put the botches out on my head for my students and all sometime in June. Getting these workshops together to get my mestre down here. Got a couple of other surprises for my students or whatnot. But yeah, man, other than that, I just wanted to get on here and give y'all a chance to stream it up. Well, computer just cut off. All right, so if there's really no more questions, I'm probably about to jump off here. I got a little bit of business to handle. So I appreciate everybody who jumped in, who came in, dropped a comment, said what's up. And I will do another live possibly the end of the week. It depends on what I have going on. But yeah, I'll probably do a live then. Maybe a boxing or a capoeira live, probably more than likely capoeira. Other than that, I appreciate y'all stopping through. You all have a good evening. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch y'all next time.